How to train while injured. I'm Nate, the FitFutureMD. Upload every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe for more. So, like so many people before me, right, we all get what I call little knick-knack injuries while working out. Or so say you play a sport like baseball or football or basketball, you know, and you got a little injury, you know, you got a little hamstring pull, you know, a little shoulder ache, you know, something like that, right? So how do you train and continue to progress, you know, without that, right? So like, you got to assess what the injury is, right? Is the first step. So for me, like, you know, I was 16 years old and I tore my ACLs, right? Or I tore my ACL in my right knee for the first time, right? You know, I went on to tear it one more time in the right knee and once in the left. But, you know, for me at the time, I thought like, okay, we'll just stop training completely, right? And the truth is that, you know, I lost a lot of improvement that I could have made in that time by completely stopping training, when there was nothing wrong with my arms, there was nothing wrong with my shoulders, my back could still be worked out, right? Like, I had a whole nother leg that could still be, you know, worked out. And really I see that as, you know, I was at an elite level, you know, in my sophomore year of high school, and it really wasn't until I got back on the field fully healed, you know, after a summer of being off in college, that I was back up to my full potential, right? So I was back up to my sophomore level potential in high school, right? Whereas people that didn't get injured, kept training, you know, stuff like that, they had progressed to, oh, now I'm a junior, now I'm a senior, you know, first year college, and then, you know, some of my friends even went on to play professionally, like, but that progression stopped for me, and that was because I stopped training when I was injured, when I should have assessed where I was at and continued to train. So that's what this video is about. This video is about, so how to go about doing that, right? So number one, when you get an injury, so say shoulder, you know, pulled muscle, whatever, you got to concentrate on, you know, rest recovery for that muscle, right? Ice, heat, and then range of motion, right? So flexibility is one of the most important things for not getting injured, right? So if your body is contorted into a weird position, that you don't actually get the big injury like an ACL tear, right? And that's one of the principles of not getting injured is flexibility, right? So, and even though a joint might be injured, flexibility in that joint is still very important, right? So right now I have an injury here on my AC joint, right? You know, and it's been a couple weeks. Honestly, I'm concentrating on making sure that joint is still flexible. I still have to move it all the way up, all the way down, this way, all the way around, doing circles, like. But I'm not going to sit there and put, you know, do a 315-pound shoulder press with an injured shoulder, right? Like, you still train, but you're not being stupid, right? And say, why did this position get injured? Like, what? Usually injury is caused by lack of flexibility or what I like to call imbalances, right? So this side was stronger than that side, or this side was tight, this side was loose, you know. So if I injured my shoulder, why did I injure my shoulder? Why was this impinged, or which part, you know, what's my training routine, around that, right? So like I say, number one is flexibility of the area. Make sure the area is still flexible. Number two, rest and recover. Make sure you give it time to heal, right? And so even if I tore my ACL in my leg, I still have the rest of my body I can work out, right? So I may not be able to run, but I could get on a bike and ride the bike, keep my cardiovascular up, right? So when I start running again, 4 months in, 5 months in, I start running, I'm not out of breath, right? I'm still in shape. That's something I didn't do, right? I completely stopped cardiovascular stuff at all. So when I go to start back running, like I'm dying, right? And when I came back, even just warming up, like, in football, you do like a couple laps, then you stretch and do all that stuff. Well, after that, I'm exhausted, right? Coming back from being injured, where I stopped training. And the truth is, I could have spent hours on a bike, no problem. Wouldn't have hurt my ACL injury at all. Like, wouldn't have, probably would have made my legs even stronger than they were before, right? Like, but I stopped training. So the whole point is to keep training, right? And you have to find what you can do, right? You may not be able to do these big, huge lifts, but you can still train and improve, right? Because the truth is, you keep your cardiovascular and your lungs up, when you get everything back, it'll come back like this. Muscle has memory. So, all right. So, and lastly, like drop your weights down and concentrate on good form, right? And then, like you say, injury is kind of where you're putting your body into weird positions, and your body's never been there before, or it's not flexible in that area, right? So you see kind of a push towards that now, right? Where you're doing full range of motion things. Keep so like what's one of the favorite one is like the kettlebell swing, where you're actually like jerking, like it's a jerking movement, right? And that is so when your back or your shoulder or any of that gets jerked, like you're not getting injured. Your body is prepared for that stress. So basically the whole idea is to prevent injury is to prepare for the stress of what the injury could be. So that's it, guys. Make sure you rest, recover. Make sure you figure out what caused the injury, right? So keep your flexibility up and train around the injury so that when your injury is healed, that you can come back bigger, stronger, faster than ever before. I'm Nate, the Fit Future MD. Make sure you like, follow, comment, get that free health and nutrition guide in the description below. And we'll see you on the next one. Peace.